created by AI. In the small town of Willowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, an eerie phenomenon had taken hold. Children were plagued by unsettling dreams, their innocent slumber haunted by a mysterious and sinister entity that fed upon their minds. The creature was known as the Mind Weaver, a being that existed only within the realm of dreams, luring children into its grasp. As the sun dipped below the horizon each night, the Mind Weaver would awaken from its slumber within the shadows. Its presence was elusive, shifting and morphing to fit the deepest fears and desires of its unsuspecting victims. With a hypnotic whisper, it would call out to the children, coaxing them into a dream world of its own making. One night, a brave young girl named Eliza found herself in the clutches of the Mind Weaver's realm. Her dream was a twisted reflection of her own fears, a labyrinth of mirrors that twisted and turned endlessly. As she wandered, her reflection began to change, contorting into nightmarish versions of herself. Panic set in as she realized she was trapped in the Mind Weaver's game. But Eliza possessed a resilience that the creature had not encountered before. She summoned her courage and refused to succumb to her fear. With each step, she shattered the mirrors, breaking the illusion that the Mind Weaver had woven. As she did so, she felt a surge of power, the very power that the creature had sought to devour. The Mind Weaver shrieked, its form twisting and writhing in agony. Back in the waking world, Eliza's body twitched and turned in her bed as the battle between dream and reality raged on. Her parents watched in helpless concern, unaware of the battle she fought within the depths of her own mind. With a final burst of determination, Eliza confronted the weakened Mind Weaver, its monstrous form fading into the darkness. She stood her ground and mustered all the strength she could find, channeling it into a blinding light that enveloped the creature. Slowly, the Mind Weaver disintegrated, its malevolent presence banished from the dream realm forever. As dawn broke, Eliza awoke, her heart pounding in her chest. She could still feel the residual effects of her battle, the echoes of her victory ringing in her ears. From that day on, the children of Willowbrook slept peacefully, no longer plagued by the Mind Weaver's haunting dreams. Eliza had broken the cycle, proving that even in the most terrifying of circumstances, the human spirit could triumph over darkness. The town of Willowbrook celebrated Eliza as a hero, and her story spread far and wide. The legend of the Mind Weaver served as a reminder that bravery and resilience could conquer even the most insidious of nightmares. And as the years passed, the memory of the Mind Weaver faded, replaced by a newfound sense of strength and unity among the townspeople, a testament to the power of courage and the indomitable human spirit. In the aftermath of the Mind Weaver's defeat, Eliza became a beacon of hope in Willowbrook. The town came together to honor her bravery, erecting a monument in the heart of the town square to commemorate her victory over the monstrous entity. Children would gather around the monument to hear tales of her courage, finding solace in the knowledge that they were safe from the grip of the Mind Weaver's nightmares. Eliza, however, remained modest and grounded. She understood that her victory had come not just from her own strength, but from the support and unity of the entire town. She was grateful for the sense of community that had emerged from their shared ordeal, as the parents and children alike formed stronger bonds in the wake of the darkness they had faced. With time, Eliza's story continued to inspire others beyond Willowbrook. Her tale of triumph over fear spread to neighboring towns and even found its way into the pages of books, becoming a story of resilience and bravery cherished by generations to come. But as the years went by, a new challenge arose in the form of a lingering unease. Though the Mind Weaver had been defeated, whispers of its existence still lingered in the collective subconscious of the town's residents. Every so often, children would experience strange dreams, and the older folks would exchange knowing glances, wondering if the monster truly had been vanquished for good. One evening, as the sun began to set and cast long shadows across Willowbrook, Eliza, now a young woman, sat atop the hill overlooking the town. She gazed at the monument that stood as a symbol of her triumph and the unity of her community. A soft breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it a sense of nostalgia and a faint whisper of unease. At that moment, a young boy named Oliver approached Eliza. He had heard the legends of the Mind Weaver and was intrigued by her story. With a timid smile, he asked, "Do you think the Mind Weaver could ever come back?" Eliza looked at Oliver, her gaze filled with empathy. She knew the fear that lingered in the hearts of the children, the fear of the unknown. She placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder and said, "Oliver, the Mind Weaver was a manifestation of our deepest fears, but we have the power to overcome even the darkest of shadows. As long as we stand together and face our fears with courage, we can ensure that its grip on our dreams remains forever broken." Oliver nodded, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Eliza's words were like a soothing balm, dispelling the doubts that had clouded his thoughts. As they sat on the hill, watching the town's lights twinkle below, they felt a connection, a passing of the torch from one generation to the next, reminding each other that even in the face of uncertainty, they had the strength to confront whatever challenges the future might hold. And so, the legacy of Eliza's bravery continued to shine as a guiding light in Willowbrook. The town stood united, its spirit unbreakable, ready to face whatever dreams or nightmares may come their way. For they knew that as long as they held on to their courage and stood by each other, the shadow of the Mind Weaver would never again darken their slumber. As the years rolled on, the town of Willowbrook continued to thrive, its sense of unity and resilience woven into the very fabric of its existence. The monument that honored Eliza's bravery stood weathered by time, but still held a special place in the hearts of the townspeople. The tales of the Mind Weaver had become a cherished part of their history, a reminder of the darkness they had overcome together. Oliver, now a young man, had grown up with the stories of Eliza's courage. He had taken those stories to heart and had become a storyteller himself, passing down the tale of the Mind Weaver to new generations. He often stood by the monument, sharing the story with wide-eyed children and reminding them that they were the inheritors of a legacy of strength and unity. One fateful evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Oliver was approached by a stranger, a traveler who had heard the stories of Willowbrook and its legendary hero. The stranger introduced himself as Victor and shared a curious smile with Oliver. "I've traveled far to hear your stories, Oliver," Victor said. "But I also bring news from lands beyond." Intrigued, Oliver listened as Victor spoke of how the tale of the Mindweaver had spread far and wide, becoming a beacon of hope for those facing their own fears and nightmares. People had drawn strength from Eliza's triumph, and her story had become a source of inspiration in distant towns and cities. As it turns out, Victor continued, the legend of the Mindweaver has taken on a life of its own, becoming a symbol of resilience and the power of community. People are sharing their own stories of overcoming challenges, inspired by your town's courage. Oliver's eyes widened in amazement, realizing that the legacy of the Mindweaver had transcended the boundaries of their town. The tale had become a spark of hope that ignited the spirits of countless others, just as it had for him and his fellow townspeople. As Victor prepared to leave, he looked at Oliver and said, "Remember, stories have a way of weaving themselves into the very fabric of our world. The Mindweaver may have been defeated, but its legacy lives on, reminding us all that we have the power to conquer our fears and shape our destinies." With a nod of gratitude, Oliver watched as Victor disappeared into the horizon, carrying with him the town's story and its message of courage. And so, the legacy of the Mindweaver continued to spread, a tale of triumph and unity that transcended time and distance. In the heart of Willowbrook, the monument still stood, a silent testament to the power of human spirit and the enduring strength that can arise from facing the unknown. And as night fell over the town, children would look up at the stars and dream of their own triumphs, knowing that they, too, could turn their fears into legends of courage. Thank you for listening, and if you like the story, press like and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications, and activate the bell button to receive all new updates.